By the way, we're in the Crest Theater in Westwood. Where is this? This is beautiful.
It's called the Crest Westwood. It's a beautiful theater that I did my premiere for my short film in 2010, and they were amazing to give us this great place.
It's beautiful. Yeah, it has a nice like Art Deco feel to it, and nice couches in the front and seats in the back. Well, we're very fortunate to use it. Talking about your $500 short film versions versus a feature length, would you recommend that most filmmakers take the time to write a short before of the same movie that you did with On the Horizon, and then turn it into a feature, or was that just sort of a happy accident that happened?
It was an happy accident. I think it's a good idea when it's time for investor. Sometimes you can just, if you don't have, let's say, a big background of film that you did before, then I will suggest at least do a great short film of maybe a scene or concept-wise, something like whatever, like there's a term about it, but it's like maybe a 10-minute version of the film, something like that, and then showcase that to investors. That's really going to tell them just your style, directing style, and then you can say, if we have more money, then we can do this, but at least it's, people work with visuals, so at least if you show them something, that's really, really going to help a lot. And then after that, you have to push the business plan because they're all about numbers. But for the feature film itself, I guess it depends. For me, for example, I do short film when I have a concept that I want to work with. And like, for example, I'm going to do something soon that I don't know, but I'm kind of sure that's going to be about my next feature film. So again, sometimes it's just always happy accidents, sometimes to try new technique and stuff like that. But I will recommend that if you're trying to get investors and you don't have a lot of work, then yeah, to do a short film version at least to help them visualize what you're trying to do, because it's easy to just like, it's going to be amazing, it's going to be great. So at least just show that you can do something instead of just talking.
I know you've said before that you feel 25 minutes is probably way too long for a short film. Yeah. That it should be to the point, around 10 minutes, don't drag it out, say what you need to say right away.
Even now, I think 5 minutes, 3 minutes is, I think, because people have like an attention span of like a 2-year-old. Like they just watch something, they close it right away. So when they're gonna click on it and it's like 15 minutes, they're not gonna watch it. So I think it's better to do a 3-minute something that is straight to the point and just really knock them with 3 minutes instead of bore them with 15. So, but again, it's depend of the audience. When you work with something for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, you can have a wider audience. But if you work with something of 20 minutes, then you're gonna have a specific audience.
So of the 30 short films that you've made, was there ever a time when you're like, you know what, this story can't be told in 10 minutes, it's gotta be longer? And how did you cut those precious pages of the script?
I did, and my two longer short films, they were the worst one. So now that's why I think the 3, 4, 5 minutes, it's where I think you can really do something. Anyway, for me, from my experience, I think that's where you can really do something great. Because I don't know, now I'm kind of used to work on feature film now. I did mine for 4 years. So if I'm gonna write something kind of long of 25 pages, I'm just gonna go to 90, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna stop at 25. I'm not a big fan of writing, so for me it's kind of hard to do that. So I prefer to just, if I'm gonna commit to something, I wanna commit completely. So I know if I'm gonna do a short film, I wanna stop around 5 minutes, so it's around 5, 6 pages max. And then if you're gonna do a feature film, just really focus on doing that.
Why do you feel those two films that were your longest were your worst?
Just, I don't know, acting wise, just on paper, sometimes it looks great. But then it was like in 2008, something like that. So the more you do, the better you get. So, but just sometimes on paper is great, then the execution just failed. Just acting wise, the casting, location, the camera at the time, we didn't have like this depth of field or something like that. It was, you need to have an adapter to try to fake it. So the technology was not as pleasing as now. So maybe now if I were to do something longer, it will look way better. And but I don't know, for short film I still prefer 5 minutes. Just you have a concept and it needs maybe, for me for example, on my film it's always about a moment. For short film for example, it's always a moment in time that I'm trying to explain in like 3-4 minutes, instead of just like, this is the story of Mike who's doing da-da-da-da-da. Who cares? I just want to like go into a world right away and get out. So